welcome to this podcast. It is the conclusion of the trilogy of Rosy's story. Who am I? Rosy's story, a child of the Sicilian wheel. So, in Sicily, it was global in the Bourbon era in the 1800s. If you were poor and you couldn't look after your child, you would leave it at the comune, which was close to the church. There was a wheel and there was a basket, and you would pull the rope which was attached to the bell, and when you pulled it, the priest and the comune knew that there was a child left at the wheel, which was very, very common. And you would leave a token. So it could be, in Rosy's story, her mother left her grandmother Nonna Caterina's necklace. So you could leave a necklace, could leave the clothes, a beautiful clothes, shoes, cross, whatever. And it was all written down that this child was left at this date, such and so date, time, with that. And so if the parents wanted to reclaim the child back, they would say, I left the child at the wheel at 11 o'clock Sunday morning on October the 10th, 1820, something like that. And then they knew, and then you would have to give evidence in that way, and then you would take the child. So this is what was would happen. So the conclusion. In this trilogy of life, I desired to show you facets, so many facets, not just one, but many facets. You could see the story of Rosy, how she speaks in poetry, Margherita's story, Rollo's story, Maria and Giuseppe's story. Unlike the reality of the children of the Rota, poverty, education was the main challenge that parents faced when abandoning their children to the wheel. No generation has it all. Each generation learns from the past and builds from there. Dr. Lucy Barbara explains it well in detail. As we become educated about the Bourbon era, please look at her work and the videos we did with Lena Messina on Sicilian Queens. So you can go to Sicilian Queens on YouTube channel, and you can go and follow the work that we did with Dr. Lucy Barbara on the children of the wheel of the Rota, where we talk in depth about that. How do we explain circumstances that are leading us to make decisions to a child that has not walked an adult life? I am reminded of an old proverb my Nonna Carmela used to say, you can only judge me when you have walked my journey. Life circumstances lead us to making decisions a child cannot comprehend. Only when they have grown and are challenged in their own journey, then and only then do they identify with life's challenges and the choices of each generation. What is the most important is the nurturing of our tribe. The children of the wheel were in fact the result of this: poverty, government, war, economics, no education, no schooling, etc. Their nurturing voices are heard and have come through this generation. We hear them. So I will pause where hear them. I heard them when we spoke with Dr. Lucy Barbara and Lena Messina, when we spoke about the children of the wheel. We spoke about the poverty, we spoke about their names, we spoke about their circumstance, the surrounding, the economy, the poverty, the pandemic that it was. It was global. It was all over the world. And it still happens today, where many children are left in chutes at the hospital because people can't afford it. So it still creeps up in cracks of different places of the world. And I had, my heart was, really felt it. They didn't have a voice. This missing piece of the puzzle was their parents, the tribal unit that they started through life through. In Sicily, you were known by the colour of your skin, your eyes, and always known as the daughter of so-and-so, and the family Njuria, which is a nickname, is what the village knew you by. So if, say, someone walked crooked, they would be known as a figlia di sciancato, or someone had something with their shoes, they would call a figlia scarpini. It's just a way that they do that. Just a nickname, and you're known by that. Being a child of the rota, the wheel, you were given a surname and known for the rest of your life by it. Even generations today have kept their surname and not changed it. The little villages were a haven and a testing ground, knowing that who we are and belonging is every right, a human right, to claim that they belong to a tribe. Acknowledging the being that we are and the gift that each brings with them in this realm called earth, knowing that we are God's children, trailing the breath of our ancestors and connecting the dots. Ultimately, our questions are, what will happen if we bring life to them and they flourish? Rosy finds that connection to the source of who she is and finds inner peace. You are not your name. Finding your tribe, you become reunited and reclaim your inheritance. For the children's children of the wheel, you have now reclaimed your inheritance, and the generations can rest. You have slayed and reclaimed the dragon of this generation. Our purpose is to fulfill the highest expression of who we are. With our gift, we are to turn it into our service. Greatness is determined by service. Value fades. What is the most important thing is the significance of your service and what it has done for others. Teaching our children is the service we give in the universal school called life. The gift of gratitude for generations to come paves the way. Their voices are the song of Margherita's call, not just for Cala Rosa. It is the song of the Madonna calling her children back. When we heal ourselves, we also heal the past. We heal the generations and make the pathway for future generations. Changing the course changes the future and places a new generation with a new frontier and a dragon to slay. When we find the missing piece, love, strength, faith is waiting for us in this place. Love weaves its way through the generations. When we have healed the past, it is replaced with love. Then love has its chance to spring forth like a new bud, and it will blossom in its season. Strength paves the way to achieve our highest state. As a human being, in strength lies courage, valiant valor, integrity, and honor. Our perception is altered when we are abandoned. We go into survival mode. Life is either fight or flight. The consolation is belonging to a tribe. The strength of a human is this. Why? Because we have been made for human connection. In many instances, each generation tries to heal the past generation's failures of slaying the dragon. In doing this, we create another dragon for the next generation. We sometimes need to wait and allow the tides of time to catch up with us. This is where we can weave through the healing of the past, which will create the way for the future generations to live in a different perspective. We are the sum total of each generation's choices. We, the generation of the past and the future, right now. Rosy found the love of a mother, father and family. This love was passed on to her. No matter her circumstances, this is her fuel. For her to grow, the tides of time will reveal her own circumstances and choices. When we forgive, we release the dragon and let go. Letting a higher source, God, take over. We find that in that place we forgave, a treasure that is a gift. The pain is the teacher. There becomes an exchange. In this act of forgiveness, the gift is for you no longer are riddled in pain. You become the transformation of what forgiveness is. You are not the pain, you are the journey. Our life is a lesson, it is a journey. We ultimately become the journey, and we are refined by the challenges, not defined by them. Our mind and heart and soul must let go of pain. Otherwise, we become the pain. We end up channeling it in our actions and the decisions in everything we do. Releasing the dragon, we let it go and allow it to be our teacher. This is the alchemy, the treasures of our journey. How do we let go? Allow it to transform us. Release the pain, acknowledge it, looking at it as the teacher, not the enemy. When we look at life's lessons, we comprehend that the journey has been chosen already for us. When we perceive life as a journey, then life will mold us from our experiences. Working with the tides of life will give us life experience that shapes our journey. You are young and have your entire life in front of you, a new frontier from the choices of your ancestors. When you fight the experience, you become the fight. When you allow the experience to shape your circumstances, you become the flight. Margarita's call is the song of the heart of all mothers, to the children who have been abandoned, stolen from their tribe. Every child has a song that identifies with who they are and where they belong. It is the union of tribes. The question of who am I is answered here. We belong to the song, the gift of love, the essence of the universal God, the source of all beings. The miracle of life is that we are the union of tribes, generations of treasures. The gift of life is the chance in creating and shaping it from the circumstances and destiny. Forgiveness is an act of self-love. We make a conscious choice to release the dragon and let it go. We no longer harbour those thoughts in our mind and soul. We give our heart the chance to do exactly what it's meant to do, love. Rosy is love. Margarita made sure that all through her pregnancy she sang the song to her every moment. Margarita did exactly what Nonna Caterina had taught her. Margarita's call comes from the heart of all mothers. Maria grew up and gave her even more love. Rosy never lacked love. Rosy speaks in poetry, as poetry is the song of the heart. Rosy is a new generation born. Her birthright is not one that can be taken from her. Rosy is the evidence of two kingdoms that came together. Love is the strongest act that any human being can give to one another to structure their life. Love is equivalent to water. Why? Because it is soft, flexible, durable, enchanting. It is the strongest and it can penetrate through mountains, and the tides of time will show us this. Did I matter? Was my life meaningful? With these two questions, we enter a quest with the dragon in proving to others and ourselves we exhaust this avenue. And life is about letting go. What no longer serves us, we need to let go. My belief in this is that we ultimately want to share our life with someone who wants to hear about it. We want to be validated, heard, and accepted. Our journey is to come back home. Always it is the place where we started, the heartbeat and song of our fathers and mothers and our tribe. My prayer is that you remember, who am I?